I grew up as an only child, which everyone who grew up around me knows. And I wished I had siblings.
What she told the royal family, what she told Harry, wouldn't have jived, wouldn't have been consistent with the truth. I believe she had a clear motive for writing family off because it would seemingly justify and perhaps delay the revelation of all of the lies that she had told.
Oh, you guys, the gavel didn't just fall that day, it detonated. Picture this, September 9th, 2025, the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals buzzing with tension, and then, boom. Meghan Markle's shiny, unshakable legal machine finally cracked right open like a dropped crown jewel. Chief Judge William Pryor didn't just politely question her attorneys, no, he shredded them. The way his sharp words sliced through that courtroom, it left Meghan's so-called dream team looking like they'd just been tossed into a royal lion's den. Samantha Markle's lawyer was practically glowing, while royal watchers everywhere were left clutching their pearls in shock.
Ongoing saga, yet another chapter with more megalomania. They're going to dig out all of those insults. They're going to keep referencing the with love Meghan. Well, I can tell you there's no love lost between.
And you know what one insider whispered? That after Judge Pryor finished, the silence was so thick you could cut it with a crown. This wasn't just a courtroom jab, this was a full-on seismic shock to Meghan's entire brand. Like, her whole polished, untouchable Duchess aura cracked. But wait, that's just the opening act, because the real drama, it hadn't even started yet.
Didn't do anything. And it's just, she just woke up one day in a new world and decided that she doesn't have any.
Okay, let's dish on the cast of this royal courtroom soap opera. First, Judge William Pryor. Imagine the Grim Reaper in a judge's robe. Precise, brutal, and absolutely ready to gut any sloppy argument. Then you've got Peter Tickton, Samantha Markle's lawyer, who didn't just pick apart Meghan's defense. He turned it into an all-you-can-eat buffet, famously calling it a smorgasbord of excuses. And then, oh Meghan, usually the Duchess of Damage Control, armed to the teeth with PR gurus and crisis managers. But this time, she was miles away while her elite legal team morphed into the most expensive interns California has ever seen. For years, Meghan's been selling this image of being invincible, flawless, always one step ahead. But when Judge Pryor coldly dismissed her team's arguments as beside the point, that wasn't just criticism. It was like delivering her legal obituary on live TV. And trust me, sources in Montecito swear the phone started ringing before Meghan even finished sipping her oat latte. But girl, that wasn't even the weirdest part.
2022, the Duchess of Sussex, estranged half-sister Samantha Markle sued Meghan Markle for allegedly defaming her in multiple interviews, including that 2021 tell-all with Oprah.
Here comes receipt number 1. Judge Pryor's verbal beatdown. Eyewitnesses said Meghan's lawyers looked like deer caught in headlights. Legal commentators on GB News didn't hold back either, calling it a beatdown in robes. One lawyer's hands were shaking so much, people swore he was trying to stir invisible tea.
Was not allowed to examine her wound. I mean, I don't know about anybody else, but if I were pregnant with a royal child, you would want that child in the best care of the best medical practitioners that money could buy. As personality profile that perfectly enables someone who is an alleged murderer.
Receipt number 2, the now iconic smorgasbord comment. Tickton literally roasted Meghan's entire legal defense as a sloppy buffet of excuses instead of a proper argument. That single word, it went viral. One commentator even joked, her lawyers didn't bring a case, they served leftovers. Brutal.
We thought, my brother and I thought, a pretty normal life. But it wasn't until the time of the wedding when the media started to why what she told the royal family, what she told Harry, wouldn't have jived, wouldn't have been consistent with.
And then receipt number 3, the unthinkable. Meghan's lawyers, Hollywood's supposedly finest, actually admitted they'd made mistakes. Out loud, in court. Analysts called it malpractice in real time. Every single stumble fed straight into Samantha's case like champagne into a victory glass. Insiders swear you could practically see Tickton suppressing a smirk as Meghan's team dug their own glittery grave. But oh, this courtroom chaos, it was just the half of it, because once social media got its claws on this saga, things spiraled fast. Twitter didn't just react, it exploded. Hashtags like hashtag smorgasbord defense and hashtag Markle meltdown shot straight to the top. Memes flooded in. One showed Meghan's lawyers behind a buffet table with trays labeled, "Oops, we forgot that," and "Next excuse." TikTok creators were out here reenacting the hearing with wigs, gavels, and dramatic sound effects, lip-syncing Judge Pryor's beside the point line while millions laughed. Reddit sleuths went full detective mode, creating entire crime scene-style case boards tracking timelines like this was some royal true crime docuseries. The top comment? Samantha didn't need a legal team. Meghan's lawyers did her work for her. Then the tabloids swooped in like vultures. UK front pages screamed, Markle's smorgas disaster, while a US outlet went with Duchess of Denial, Queen of Excuses. The internet didn't just watch, it turned Meghan's courtroom humiliation into entertainment. And Meghan? Silent. No Instagram, no glossy PR statement, just pure echoing silence, which honestly made everyone speculate even more. Meanwhile, back in Montecito, things were anything but calm. Sources whispered about emergency Zooms with crisis PR firms, Harry pacing like mad, Meghan's team frantically trying to draft a response that sounded less like a defense and more like triage. But here's the real tea. Meghan's brand is built entirely on competence and control. She sold herself as the woman who outsmarts the palace, conquers Hollywood, and never loses. So what happens when her lawyers straight up admit they weren't prepared? Hollywood noticed? Oh, they noticed. Streaming partners quietly started reviewing deals. Publishing houses whispered about adding liability clauses. One executive even leaked that the Sussex brand suddenly feels fragile. And just like that, Spotify and Netflix weren't the only failures in the spotlight anymore. This wasn't PR cleanup. This was brand triage, with the Duchess of Sussex at the center of a storm she couldn't spin away. And honey, this fallout wasn't just Montecito gossip. This was the first tug on a very dangerous thread, because here's why Samantha's side is popping champagne right now. They didn't just win a courtroom skirmish. They flipped Meghan's whole narrative. For years, people painted Samantha's lawsuits as petty and desperate. But now, she's the sister who cracked Meghan's armor, and the consequences are massive. Once that aura of invincibility shatters, every other opponent suddenly gets braver. More lawsuits, more challenges, more sharks circling in the water. Critics are already lining up the receipts, tying this meltdown to Meghan's growing pattern of disasters. The Spotify grifters' humiliation, the Netflix backlash, the age controversy whispers, and now this courtroom catastrophe. Royal insiders are even comparing it to Prince Andrew's infamous BBC interview, a credibility collapse you cannot PR spin away. Because let's be honest, if Meghan's million-dollar legal army couldn't survive Samantha Markle, how on earth will they survive the next challenger? And if they blurred something as basic as courtroom competence, what else have they been rewriting? So here's the cliffhanger, besties. Was this just one sister's shocking win, or the start of Meghan's long, slow unraveling? Because if one single word, smorgasbord, can reduce her defense to a viral meme, imagine what'll happen when the bigger sharks start circling. Do you think Meghan's legal empire is finished? Or can her team somehow spin this back from the brink? Drop your thoughts below, because if this courtroom clash was just the appetizer, the main course of Meghan's unraveling might be coming next. And trust me, you won't want to miss it.